I really wanted to talk to you guys tonight more so about just taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself. Um, that is something I realized that I have struggled with, y'all. I have struggled with. I shared this on social media today, but there was a few years ago. Um, my husband was gone for a training, and my children and I had gotten into a car accident, and it wasn't anything like extreme. But of course, as a mom, I had just had my youngest son, so he was only like a few months old. I was like in panic mode, and I was like, I got to get to the emergency room. I need my babies to be checked out. So we went to the emergency room. I get my babies checked out. They're all doing good. And so then they were like, well, are you going to get yourself checked out? And I was like, well, how long is the wait? Right. And they were like, oh, it's going to be a couple hours. And I was like, I'll get back to it. Like, I'm fine. It's okay. Right. And one of the things, like looking back, like at that, I remember at that time, when I did go back to the doctor, I think it was like the next day or even the day after. I think I waited like 2 days to go to the doctor. My mom got on me. It was like, you need to go, just get checked out, make sure you're good. Well, when I went, I remember a doctor was like, oh, well, when was the accident? And I was like, oh, it was like 2 days ago. And she was like, and you're just now coming to the doctor? Like, you're just now coming to us to make sure you're okay? And I was like, yeah, like, I just wanted to make sure my kids were good. My babies were good. And she was just like, oh, like, she was kind of like, she was proud. She was like, oh, the typical mom who's, so sacrificial, right? And is going to make sure her babies are okay. And I'm over there like, yeah, right? Like, I'm sacrificial. I'm making sure my babies are okay. I'm putting myself on the back burner to make sure my children are okay. It was kind of like a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? And recently the Lord was just like that. That's not cute. That's not cute. That's not a badge of honor, right? Like, that's poor stewardship over the life that I have given you. Like, I cared about your life so much that I was willing to die for you. And you don't even respect it enough to do the necessary things to make sure that you are taken care of and that your basic needs are met. Like, even again, recently, I had got like a sty on my eye. Y'all, I got this sty on my eye last summer 2023. And here we are going into spring 2024, and I just went to the doctor. And it's not because I didn't have the money. We had the insurance. I could say I didn't have time, but we had time because I made time for other things, right? Like, I just did not prioritize myself, and I did not prioritize my health. And again, it's like we find it a badge of honor to be like, oh, well, I'm doing all of these other things, and I'm taking care of all of these other people, and I'm taking care of the home, and I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And it's like we're proud that we've put ourselves on the back burner, right? And something the Lord said to me today is like, that's not a badge of honor, Samantha. That is not a badge of honor. That's not something I want you to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I died for this life. I want you to take care of it. Like, we are called to be managers of the life that He has given us, not just our children's lives, not just our home, not just our job, not just our purpose and what we're called to, but our lives. And so there are certain things that I'm not gonna, my children are not gonna go without, right? Like, I will be dog tired to make sure my children's needs are met. And in the same manner, I'm not saying that it should be this mindset of like me over everyone. I don't care about nobody else. It's all about me and my needs being met. I'm not saying to have that mindset. But what I am saying is that we do have to do better as women, especially as women, right? Because like, we carry so much, y'all. We carry so much as women, and especially if you are a wife and you are a mother and you are a homemaker, you start adding on all these other different roles. We carry so much, and we have to make sure that as we are carrying the things that we are carrying, that we are taking care of ourselves, that we are prioritizing ourselves, right? There's no reason I should not be going to get my annual checkup as a woman, right? Like, there's no reason I should be, y'all. Honestly, outside of having children, y'all probably hear my kids knocking on the door. Outside of having children, I don't know the last time I went and just got like an annual visit. Now, thank God, kind of, right? But like, I've been pregnant kind of like back to back for like the last like 5 years, right? Like, my oldest is 5, then I had my second 2 years later, and then I had baby girl 2 years later. So I've had kids every 2 years for the last 5 years. That's honestly the only reason that I have prioritized going to the doctor. Not even for my own like care and wellness, but simply because I've been pregnant, right? And I said this on Sunday's live, that like, why do we have to be reactive, right? Like, we wait until there's something wrong to take care of us. Oh, I feel a lump in my breast. Now let me go to the doctor. Oh, I got diabetes. Now let me clean up my eating. Oh, X, Y, and Z. I'm pregnant. Now let me go to the doctor. You are worth it to go to the doctor to take care of yourself without there having to be a reason, but simply because you are like a person, you're human, right? And you should be taking care of yourself. You should be taking care of yourself. And so I just want to encourage y'all with this because my family is trying to get in. So I'm gonna have to cut this short, but like take care of yourself, y'all. Take care of yourself the same way that you take care of your kids, the same way that you take care of your husband, the same way you are taking care of the home. You need to prioritize yourself as well. The same way you set up your children's wellness visits, you need to set up your yearly visit. The same way you send them to the dentist, like y'all, I finally went to the dentist in the past few months, but it's been a long time since I've been to the dentist, just being completely honest. That is not okay. My kids, they at the dentist like clockwork. There's no play because I need to make sure that they are in tip top shape. And why do I not see that myself is worth the same thing? Like why, you know what I'm saying? Like why do I not feel as though I am worth the same thing? Right? So I want to encourage y'all. This is a short live. I'm cutting it short because my family is trying to come in. But y'all need to prioritize yourself. We need to prioritize ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves and understand that it's not humble putting ourselves on the back burner and not meeting our needs. It's not being humble. It's not cute to try to be a martyr. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not talking about for the gospel, but I'm talking about like so you could look sacrificial, so you could look like a good mother. Right? Like, we're not created to be Superwoman. We are not created to be Superwoman. We are not created to do all of these things and not care for ourselves and not prioritize ourselves. My children are at the door. Y'all hold on one second. I just really want to encourage y'all with that and really leave y'all with that, right? Like, do not wait for something to happen to finally take it upon yourself to implement aspects of self-care, right? Like probably we've been living where we are now for about 2 years or so. And before we got here, my husband was like really adamant about me having like self-care days and like getting my hair done and getting my nails done and just doing all of the things. And y'all, I always found every reason as to why I couldn't do it. Every reason. You know, we don't have the time. I don't have the money. And like my husband, he's the type of person, he'll cut all the excuses. He'll be like, you ain't got the money. Let me move some money around. Here's the money, go. Like it got so bad to the point where I wouldn't even take the self-care days that he was trying to create for me. So he would have to schedule it for me. So I would get a text message and it'll be like, hey, Samantha, thank you for scheduling your massage at blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, massage? I didn't schedule a massage. And he'd be like, yeah, because you wasn't doing it, I had to go ahead and do it for you. Right? And that is beautiful. Like, I love that he is willing to do that for me. He's willing to make sure I'm taken care of. Like, he's willing to make sure that I'm getting what it is that I need. If it's a little loud, it's because my kids are playing in the background. But like, he shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to do that. Like, we have got to get to the place where we see value within ourselves. We see value within ourselves. It shouldn't be that someone else has to see value and like forces us to see our value. Right? Because at the end of the day, like he can't live for me. And so it's like I should see enough value within myself and love myself enough to say, hey, you know what? Let me schedule, especially if we have the means to do it. Let me schedule myself a self-care day. Let me do X, Y, and Z for myself. It shouldn't have to be that someone has to force me to do it. Right? And we can say all the things like all the excuses I make, right? I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, like you really have to get to the root of like what really is stopping you from doing what it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. And for me, it really came down to, I was like, you know what, at the core, I think there's like a value issue. Like for some reason, I am not seeing my value. I am not seeing my worth. Like there's something deeper there. There's something that's lacking, right? Because again, with my children, they're not missing their doctor's visits. They're not a dentist. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna get what they need, right? And in the same manner, it's like I need to show up for myself in the same way. And I said this in one of my YouTube videos, and I'll close out with this, is that I saw someone say it on social media. She says that in the morning, she chooses to get herself dressed first. And at first I was like, like, what do you mean you get yourself dressed? She was like, she gets herself dressed and then she takes care of everyone else. And at first I was like, it was hard for me to kind of like grasp the concept of what she was trying to say, but then I sat with it and it made sense, right? And this is what I took from it. Because at the end of the day, like for me, at least as a mom, and I'm pretty sure for a lot of us as mothers, one thing we are not going to do is have our children out here looking crazy. That's just one thing. Like, I am not going to have my kids out here looking crazy, right? So the thing is in the mornings, if I'm running around getting everyone else dressed and then I choose to get myself dressed last, I am more likely to just allow myself to just throw on some sweats and to do the bare minimum for myself just so we can get out the door. I'm more likely to skimp on myself because I've given all my energy to getting everyone else situated, right? But if I choose to get myself first, then I don't care how tired I am, y'all. My kids are going to get dressed and they're going to look decent when they leave out this house. No excuses. They are going to look decent. So the reality is I may not have the energy, or a lot of times I don't have the energy for myself. But if I need to come up with some kind of energy, I'm going to come up with it for them. And so when she said, you know what, I've learned to get myself dressed, I've learned to prioritize myself first in the mornings, it made so much sense because she realized, and what I realized is, again, at the end of the day, if I do all of the things, I get my kids ready, I do X, Y, and Z, then 8 times out of 10, I'm going to skimp on myself because it's just whatever. I'm going to give myself the leftovers. That's not good, but that's the reality, right? But if I say, you know what, let me get myself situated, let me get myself dressed, let me make sure I look good. Because again, if we look good, we're going to feel good, right? I'm going to get my kids dressed. I'm not going to skimp on them. I'm just not. That's just how we are as mothers. There's a lot of things we'll skimp on, but we won't skimp on our kids, right? And so I know I'm saying a lot. And if you missed the beginning part of this live, please go back and catch it. But I have come to realize as a woman that we do have to take better care of ourselves, y'all. Like I said, with me having that sty on my eye, there's no reason I am coming up on almost a year of having this sty on my eye, and I'm just now setting an appointment to get that situated. Because if my kids ever had a sty on their eye, let my child wake up with a sty on their eye in the morning, God forbid. I am calling the doctor by, like, literally, like, within an hour, I'm getting an appointment. And if they tell me, oh, we ain't gonna be able to see him till May or June, no. Well, give me the number to somebody that can see him because I need that off his eye immediately, right? But here I am walking around with this sty on my eye for like 6-7 months. 6-7 months, y'all. And again, I'm not saying to be selfish. I'm not saying to neglect the needs of other people. But what I am saying is that you can better show up to meet the needs of other people when you have taken care of yourself. You will. Like, honestly, my husband loves when I go out for a self-care day. He loves when I get my hair and my nails done. Because I be feeling great when I come home. Okay? I be feeling great. Like, I be feeling so good. And again, I think somebody just said it. You should feel great because that's how you... Thanks, girl. Thank you. But, like, again, like, you... Like, when you look good, you feel good. When you have taken care of yourself, when you have poured into your cup, it's the same thing with our men. For any of y'all's men that may get like a haircut, y'all, they move different when they get that haircut. When they get that fade, I'm telling you, or if your man got locks, if he get that retwist, they move differently. And there's a reason because again, like, look, y'all putting 100. Exactly. We know it. We see how they act when they get it. And that's for anybody. It's not just as women. But when you take care of yourself, you are better able to show up for other people. You are. Y'all laughing. I'm serious. You are. Right. And so I just want to leave y'all with that. I don't know if anyone, like I said, has any questions or any thoughts. You can drop it in the comments. But I just want to encourage y'all, like, so for those of us that have not set up our yearly or our annual visits, you know, our annual appointments, we need to set up these appointments, y'all. Set up your appointment. If you ain't gone to the dentist, you need to go to the dentist. You have not gone to the eye doctor, you need to go to the eye doctor. Like, take care of yourself. Like, one of the things I'm planning to do, hopefully in the next few months or so, once we get a little more settled, is I want to go get a full blood work. Like, I want to get the full work so I can understand, what are my levels? What are my levels looking like? What am I... Because again, y'all, I don't know none of that. I just be taking vitamins blindly. Oh, this is a multivitamin. I'm going to take it. This is a probiotic. I don't even know what vitamins I'm supposed to be taking like I should. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really being in tune with my body. And part of growing in womanhood is really coming in tune with your body, understanding your womanhood, understanding your femininity, and how do you cultivate that? A lot of us are living in these bodies, but like, we're foreign to it. We don't really understand. And I said this on a post last week, but yes, that full panel helps so much. Right. Like, I said this last week on another live, but like, maybe it was a live, but like, so many of us are in our bodies, but like, we don't really or maybe it wasn't a live. It was a post on social media. And I was talking about like what we were taught about womanhood versus like what we actually live and what's like what we come to learn. And the honest truth is a lot of us really don't understand womanhood, right? Like, I knew about a period, and my mom was like, here's a pad, here's how you use a tampon. And like, that was it. That was really it, y'all. And like, as you get older, I'm like almost just turned 31. I was about to say I'm about to be 31. I just turned 31 and I have a daughter, and I'm like, yo, there's so much more. There's so much more. I need to understand my hormones. I need to understand how to balance my hormones. What should I be doing at different phases of my cycle? Like, there's so much more to being a woman. Like, do I understand my nervous system? Do I understand how to regulate my nervous system when I'm in a high stress environment or when I've had a long day? Like, do I understand what causes me to trigger? What causes me to tick? Like, am I in tune with my body? And I said this today on the social media post I made today. I said, but when it comes to trauma and high stress environments and situations, it causes us to disconnect from our body. And a lot of us are disconnected from our body, whether it's from trauma, whether it's from stress, whether it's from being home all day and we're burnt out. We're at work all day and we're burnt out. Maybe it's generational trauma, so it's in our DNA. Like, so many of us are so disconnected from who we are and our bodies and how our bodies function and work as women that is crazy. Like, but we're expected to continue to show up, or we're, and maybe the expectation is within ourselves, but we're living a life we really have not been trained to live. We really have not been taught. It's like sending my kids, telling him to drive this car. Here you go, drive this car. And I've never taught him how to drive a car. And that's what a lot of us are doing right now, is we're driving a car of marriage, or driving this car of being a mother, or being a sister, and we don't really know how. We don't really know how. So I really, self-care is healthcare. Definitely. Definitely. Seriously. Like, so much more can be said about this topic, but I just want to leave y'all with this and just kind of start the conversation. I just really want to start the conversation. I'm really excited because there's something I've been really working on, that I will be sharing or kind of launching later in the summer, to really support women around the topics that I've been talking about lately, such as healing from your childhood. And healing looks different. I've said that before. You could be healing from a birth experience. You could be healing from a bad relationship. You could be healing from the not so best relationship with your parent. There's so many things that we need to heal from. And some of us, it's just, again, it's in our DNA. It's generational. We need to heal from generational trauma, from being bullied in second grade, and you don't even realize it still affects you till this day. So there's a lot of things that I'm working on to really support women, on another level when it comes to healing, and when it comes to really growing in their womanhood and in their femininity, and just really becoming in tune with their body, intuitive living. And so I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Definitely continue to tune in on the lives. I will be looking to do like sort of like a beta test at the end of the month. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely shoot me a message on social media, or you can email me. I'll put it in the inbox or in the description box. But if that's something that you'd be interested in testing out, it will be like a course, kind of like a coaching program. Definitely let me know. And I am looking for some women to journey with and to work with. On that level, I am a therapist, and a lot of people ask how they can work with me, and I always say, like, I can't work with you unless you're in the state of North Carolina, as it pertains to my clinical license. But now I found a way through coaching and through being able to provide this course, I'll be able to support women on a different level. So I'm excited about it. I'm really excited to talk more with y'all about it and just heal, y'all. Just really walk with women as they heal, because when you heal, your marriage heals, or your future marriage heals. When you heal, your children heal, right? When you heal, your community heals. When you heal, your culture heals. Like, there's so much that is connected to us, right? And I believe that, I always say this, but like, women, we have so much within us, and I think that when we can get ourselves together, we can impact so much around us. But it really does start with us.